Joy watches a reality show and decides she needs a hideaway TV cabinet. She spends her entire $3,000 savings to buy one. When the massive wooden unit arrives at her trailer, it does not fit through the door. She and her boyfriend struggle to force it inside, but the dimensions are impossible. Joy returns to the bargain bag store to demand a refund. She presents the receipt, but a piece of gum is stuck to the paper. When the clerk peels the gum away, it tears off the item number. The clerk points to the ruined receipt and refuses the return. The system cannot process a refund without the code. Joy argues for 45 minutes and hurls a shoe at the counter, but the staff does not budge. She walks to the back of the store and finds a delivery truck parked at the loading dock. The driver is distracted, leaving the keys in the ignition. Joy climbs into the cab and starts the engine. She floors the accelerator, speeding out of the parking lot, while boxes of merchandise tumble out of the open back. She shouts to the bystanders that she has reclaimed her $3,000. She drives the stolen vehicle into the woods to hide it. Later, she meets a local buyer to sell the haul. The man looks at the truck and shakes his head. He tells her the job is too sloppy and the risk is too high. Joy is left with a stolen truck she cannot move and a debt she cannot recover.
Earl cuts individual letters from magazines to assemble a ransom note. He demands $2,000 from the library in exchange for their stolen silverware. To project a sense of instability, he glues a graphic image from a magazine onto the paper to serve as a period. He slides the envelope into the library's return slot under the cover of night. The next morning, the librarian, Dottie, discovers the message. Earl monitors the situation from a distance. He intends to use the cash to buy a motorcycle. He takes a concealed position behind a dense hedge across from the Camden County Depot, using binoculars to scan the street. Dottie arrives on schedule. She carries a white paper bag from Chubby's Barbecue and drops it into a wire trash can, according to the instructions. Earl remains motionless, waiting to ensure the police are not present. A homeless man approaches the bin and reaches inside. He pulls out the barbecue bag. Before Earl can move, a dye pack inside the bag detonates. A cloud of blue chemical smoke erupts, covering the man's face and clothes. Two undercover officers immediately tackle the blue-stained man to the ground. Earl watches from the brush as his money is seized. He attempts to retreat, but the dry leaves around him suddenly ignite. The hedge bursts into flames. Earl scrambles out of the burning bushes, forced to abandon his position. He leaves the scene empty-handed, while the wrong man is hauled away in blue. Earl Hickey stands at a bank counter, attempting to apply for a legal credit card. The teller reviews his application and stops. She recites the facts of his life. He is unemployed, homeless, and lacks a high school education. She reaches under the desk and hands him a paper squirrel mask. It is a promotional toy intended for children. The teller's smile confirms the verdict. To the bank, a 35-year-old man with nothing to show for his life is a minor. Earl leaves the building with the mask, realizing he has never actually reached adulthood. He adds a new entry to his life repair list. Item 273. Finish high school. He enrolls in a GED preparation class. but the classroom immediately exposes his limitations. He stares at basic grammar and math problems. He struggles to define a past participle, eventually concluding it must involve a municipal swimming pool. The intellectual gap is wide, and the frustration is constant. He sits in a desk designed for teenagers, attempting to learn what he ignored 20 years prior. Despite the confusion, he remains in the seat. He takes the final exam and waits. The official transcript arrives, showing passing scores in every category. Earl returns to his motel room and pins the GED certificate to the wall. He takes out his list and his pen. Using his newly acquired math skills, he calculates his standing. He crosses off the first sub-item of his adulthood goal, noting that he is now exactly 1/3 of the way to becoming a man. The paper mask is replaced by a legal document.
A patient in the emergency room snaps without warning. He lunges at a nurse, tackles her to the ground, and begins a violent assault. The medical team watches as the floor becomes a crime scene. To prevent further attacks, the hospital administration brings in the police. Armed officers now stand in the hallways, monitoring every movement. This decision immediately backfires. Minority doctors and nurses report a feeling of intense pressure. For them, the presence of the police is not a comfort, but a threat. They feel targeted and scrutinized while trying to perform their duties. The atmosphere turns hostile as the staff realizes they are being policed in their own workplace. The chief of medicine recognizes the strategy is failing. She removes the police officers from the building. To replace them, she hires professional nightclub bouncers who are out of work due to the pandemic. These men possess massive physical presence, but rely on de-escalation rather than force. They understand how to read a room and talk down an aggressive individual before a fight starts. When a patient begins to shout, a bouncer intervenes with calm, firm communication. He uses his body to create a barrier without reaching for a weapon. The tension in the ER evaporates. The medical staff regains their focus, feeling protected rather than watched. The bouncers prove that security comes from understanding human behavior, not just authority. By the end of the day, the hospital is secure, and the staff is at peace.